Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to plunge into some really fascinating material and pull out the key insights for you.
That's the plan.
Today, it's Don Miguel Ruiz's The Four Agreements. It's described as a Toltec wisdom book. Quite profound, actually.
Oh, definitely.
Our mission here is to really unpack this path to personal freedom, self-mastery, inner peace,
Ugh.
basically helping you understand how to master what Ruiz calls the dream of your life.
It's a powerful framework.
So let's dive right in.
Great.
Yeah.
And, understanding the background helps. The Toltec, thousands of years ago, they weren't really a nation in the way we think of it.
Okay.
They were known in southern Mexico as women and men of knowledge.
Hmm.
Think scientists, artists, people deeply exploring wisdom.
Right.
They gathered in places like Teotihuacan, the city with the huge pyramids. Its name means where man becomes God.
Wow.
Yeah. They were there specifically to explore and sort of conserve spiritual knowledge. This wisdom was kept pretty secret, passed down through special lineages. And Don Miguel Ruiz, he's an aguelis, a leader or guide from the Eagle Knight lineage. He's sharing this ancient wisdom now.
So it's not like a religion then?
No, not at all. It's presented as a practical way of life. It really emphasizes that happiness and love are, readily accessible to everyone.
And the starting point, this core idea, is that your life is nothing but a dream. That sounds big.
It's foundational. The idea is the mind dreams 24/7, awake or asleep. When we're awake, there's just this material frame. Makes it seem linear. But it's still a dream, our personal perception.
Okay, so if my life is a dream then, what's the dream of the planet?
That's the collective version. It's like this huge collective dream made up of billions of smaller personal dreams.
Billions.
Yeah. It includes literally everything: society's rules, beliefs, laws, religions, cultures, government, schools, the whole shebang.
Got it.
And we get pulled into this collective dream through what Ruiz calls domestication.
Domesticated, like with animals.
It's a strong word, but yeah, that's the analogy. From birth, our attention is hooked by adults, parents, teachers, religion.
How?
Through repetition, mainly. They teach us how society dreams, what to believe, what's acceptable, good, bad, right, wrong.
Okay.
And it works through punishment and reward. Just like training a dog or cat, our natural tendencies get shaped or sort of tamed.
And the impact of that sounds pretty significant.
Well, it is. The fear of punishment or maybe not getting the reward, it leads us to pretend to be what we are not.
Just to please people, avoid rejection.
Exactly. We end up becoming, as he puts it, a copy of mama's beliefs, daddy's beliefs, society's beliefs, and religion's beliefs. We lose touch with our authentic self.
Wow, that's quite a thought.
And inside our minds, this programming creates what Ruiz calls the book of law. It's our personal rule book, our core belief system.
Right, the book of law.
And that book empowers an inner judge. This judge is constantly watching, constantly finding fault based on the book of law.
Relentless.
Totally. And then there's the victim part of us, the part that takes the judge's verdict and carries the blame, the guilt, the shame.
Saying things like,
Poor me, I'm not good enough. I'll never measure up. I'm unworthy. That kind of internal chatter.
it sounds like an internal tyranny, honestly. He says, we pay 1,000 times for the same mistake.
Right. Because of memory. And that judge, unlike, say, an animal that touches a hot stove once and learns, we just keep replaying it, judging ourselves over and over.
And the injustice, he points out, that maybe 95% of these beliefs we hold so dear are nothing but lies.
Exactly. Lies we've agreed to. But we suffer as if they're absolute truth.
Which leads to what he calls the dream of hell.
Precisely. This internal suffering, this conflict, it's fueled by fear. Fear generates all those intense emotions: anger, jealousy, envy, hate.
Like a fire inside.
Yeah, a fire burning within us.
Yeah.
And the key point is, if we're living like that, we are already in hell. Others can't put us there. They can only tempt us deeper if we, let them, if we buy into their dream.
And this internal noise, the Toltec have a word for it, mitote.
Mitote, yeah. Or like Maya in India. It's like a fog in the mind.
A fog.
Or like 1,000 people talking at the same time in your head.
Yeah.
It's just chaos. And this fog stops us from seeing what we really are.
Which is
Pure love, pure light, according to this teaching. But we can't see it through the noise of those false beliefs. And that chaos, that fog, it creates our biggest fear.
Which is?
Simply taking the risk to be alive, the risk to be alive and express what we really are.
Because we're scared of the judgment.
Exactly. We've learned to live by other people's points of view, always trying to meet their demands, chasing this image of perfection that isn't even real.
Leading to self-rejection.
And self-abuse, yeah.
Yeah.
The less self-love, the more we beat ourselves up internally.
So, okay, how do we get out of this dream of hell? Is there a way out?
Well, Ruiz says we have thousands of these agreements causing suffering, but the really crucial ones are the agreements we make with ourselves. And he makes this interesting point. Fear-based agreements require us to expend a lot of energy. They drain us.
Yeah.
Agreements that come from love help us to conserve energy. They nourish us.
So changing those agreements, it takes effort.
It takes a very strong will, he says. Conscious effort to break the old habits and form new ones.
Which brings us squarely to the 4 agreements themselves. These are the tools for that change.
Exactly. 4 very powerful agreements that can help us take back our personal power, transform that dream of hell into a personal dream of heaven.
Okay, let's break them down. The first agreement.
Be impeccable with your word. This one's huge. Maybe the most important and often the trickiest.
And impeccable with your word. What does that mean exactly?
Ruiz says, your word is the power that you have to create. It's like a gift direct from God, he suggests.
The power to create.
Yeah, he calls it the most powerful tool you have as a human. It is the tool of magic.
Magic, okay? But it sounds like it can go both ways.
Absolutely, a double-edged sword. Your word can create the most beautiful dream, or it can destroy everything around you.
And misusing it. Speaking against yourself or others. That's black magic.
That's the term he uses, yeah. Because it poisons things. It can trap you.
He gives that really stark example.
Oh, the Hitler example.
Yeah.
How one man, just using words based on fear, manipulated a whole country into immense destruction.
Shows the sheer power.
Definitely. His word, rooted in those fear-based agreements, its impact echoes for centuries. It's a chilling reminder of the word's potential.
And our minds, they're like fertile ground. Words are seeds.
Exactly. Opinions, ideas, concepts, they land in our minds like seeds. And negative words, negative opinions. They can act like spells.
Spells, like curses.
In a way, think about someone saying something careless but cutting, like a friend saying, oh, you look like people who get cancer with that color, or a parent telling a kid, this girl is ugly. If you believe it, if you agree with it, it takes root. It becomes part of your internal program, a limiting belief, a spell you've accepted.
So what does impeccable actually mean here? Without sin?
Literally, yes. Impeccable means without sin. But Ruiz redefines sin. It's not about morality in the usual sense.
Okay.
Sin is anything that you do which goes against yourself. Anything.
Self-rejection.
That's the biggest sin in this context. Therefore, being impeccable means not going against yourself.
Taking responsibility, but without the self-blame.
Precisely. Taking responsibility for your actions, yes, but not judging or blaming yourself.
Yeah.
Recognizing every word you speak, especially to yourself, is an act of creation. Impeccability is using that power consciously to build yourself up.
It sounds like it really comes down to self-love.
Absolutely. If I love myself, I will express that love in my interactions with you, as he says.
Right.
When you're impeccable with your word, your mind stops being fertile ground for words that come from black magic. It becomes fertile for the words that come from love. You're directing your energy toward truth and self-acceptance.
Which makes gossip particularly bad.
Black magic at its very worst, because it is pure poison. That's how he describes it.
Oh.
Like a computer virus spreading misinformation, emotional toxicity. People do it intentionally sometimes for revenge or just to feel better about themselves by putting others down.
It really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? How often do we use words against ourselves? That negative self-talk. I'm so stupid. I look terrible.
All the time for many people.
Adopting this first agreement, really being impeccable, it could genuinely change your whole life, couldn't it? By shifting what kind of seeds you're planting in your own mind.
Fundamentally, it rebuilds self-love from the inside.
Okay, so once we start getting a handle on our own words, it leads naturally to how we deal with other people's words. Which brings us to agreement 2.
Yes, the second agreement. Don't take anything personally.
Don't take it personally. Simple phrase, but revolutionary.
It really is the core idea.
Yep.
Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally.
So if someone insults me,
it's not actually about you. It's about them. It reflects their beliefs, their fears, their own internal state, their dream. Taking things personally, what Ruiz calls personal importance, he actually sees it as the peak of selfishness.
Selfishness.
Because we make the assumption that everything is about me. We put ourselves at the center of everyone else's universe, their actions, their words.
Right. That makes sense. So nothing other people do is because of you. It is because of themselves.
Exactly. Their opinions, judgments, reactions, it all stems from their own programming they received during domestication. It's their internal movie playing out, not a factual commentary on your worth.
But if you do take it personally,
Then you become easy prey for these predators, the black magicians, as he puts it, the ones spreading negativity.
you just absorb it all.
You eat all their emotional garbage, and now it becomes your garbage.
Ugh. Yeah.
So the gift here, the real power of this agreement, is gaining immunity to poison in the middle of hell. You just let it fly past you because you know it's not yours.
That sounds incredibly freeing. And it impacts our emotions, too.
Big time. He suggests that if you live without fear, if you love, there is no place for any of those emotions. Anger, hate, jealousy, sadness.
Because the fuel is gone.
Right. If you genuinely don't take things personally, what is there to get angry or jealous about? The trigger isn't effective anymore. And it's important to remember, sometimes even the opinions you have about yourself aren't necessarily true either. They could be part of that old programming.
Right. The judge again.
Yeah, or even what the Toltec called allies or gods. Maybe deep intuitions, inner impulses, things bubbling up that aren't purely rational thought. It all adds to the internal mitote.
That inner conflict.
Exactly. Different parts of the mind want one thing and other parts that want exactly the opposite. Not taking that personally is also key.
So by not taking anything personally, you just avoid many upsets in your life.
You become immune to black magicians. You can basically travel around the world with your heart completely open and no one can hurt you.
Wow. That's a powerful image. An open heart, invulnerable.
It's a path to real inner peace.
Okay. That leads nicely into the third agreement, if we're not taking things personally.
Then we need to tackle the assumptions we make. The third agreement is don't make assumptions.
Don't assume. Why is that so important?
Because the big problem is we believe they are the truth. We make an assumption and instantly we treat it as fact.
And that leads to?
Misunderstandings, blame, sending emotional poison back and forth, creating a whole big drama for nothing.
He really connects this one back, doesn't he? Saying, all the sadness and drama you have lived in your life was rooted in making assumptions and taking things personally.
It's a powerful claim. But when you think about it, so much conflict starts there.
Yeah.
And we do it constantly, right? You see someone smile, you create a whole fantasy relationship in your head.
Guilty.
Or in relationships, we assume our partners know what we think and that we don't have to say what we want.
Oh, the mind-reading assumption. That's a classic.
Total recipe for arguments. Because they don't know, usually.
Yeah.
And then we get hurt when our unspoken needs aren't met.
Why do we do it so much? Assume, I mean.
Ruiz suggests it comes from a deep human need to justify everything, to understand, to feel safe. So we fill in the blanks with assumptions instead of facing the uncertainty or
just asking?
Exactly, instead of having the courage to ask questions. We also tend to assume everyone sees life the way we do.
Which leads to misunderstanding.
And a fear of being ourselves around others, because we project our own judgments onto them. We assume they'll judge us the way our inner judge judges us.
He mentions a common relationship assumption, too.
Ah, yes. The idea that my love will change this person.
Which he says is.
Not true. Plain and simple. Real love, he argues, is accepting other people the way they are without trying to change them. If you need them to change, you don't really accept them now.
Makes sense. So the antidote to assumption is pretty straightforward, then.
Wonderfully simple, yet requires practice. The way to keep yourself from making assumptions is to ask questions.
Clear communication.
Crystal clear. If you don't understand, ask. Have the courage to ask questions until you are clear as you can be.
And when you stop assuming,
your word becomes impeccable because you're dealing with reality, not fantasy. And your relationships, all of them can transform, built on clarity, not guesswork.
Okay, that's 3 powerful agreements. What's the fourth?
The fourth agreement is always do your best. And this one is interesting because it allows the other 3 to become deeply ingrained habits. It's the action principle.
Always do your best.
No.
But my best changes, right? Some days I have more energy than others.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of it. Your best is never going to be the same from one moment to the next. It shifts with your health, mood, energy. The key insight is no more and no less than your best in that specific moment.
Not pushing too hard, not slacking off.
Exactly. There are pitfalls both ways. If you try too hard to do more than your best, you will spend more energy than is needed. You burn out.
And if you do less?
Doing less than your best leads straight to frustrations, self-judgment, guilt, and regrets. That inner judge has a field day.
So it's about finding that sweet spot in the moment.
Yes, and doing it consistently.
I like the story he tells about the man and the Buddhist master meditating for hours.
Oh, that's a lovely one. The man asks how long it'll take to transcend if he meditates 4 hours or 8 hours.
Yeah.
And the master replies, essentially, you are not here to sacrifice your joy or your life. You are here to live, to be happy, and to love. The point being, do your best, and perhaps you will learn that no matter how long you meditate, you can live, love, and be happy. It's about the quality of action, not just quantity or sacrifice.
So doing your best isn't about suffering for a future reward.
Not at all. Doing your best is taking the action because you love it, not because you're expecting a reward. It's action born from presence and enjoyment, not obligation.
Unlike people who just suffer through the work week.
Right, people who work so hard all week long, suffering the work because they feel they have to, just gritting their teeth for the paycheck or the weekend. Doing your best comes from a different place, engagement, love for the action itself.
And when you operate from that place, always doing your best.
You essentially silence the inner judge. You don't give the judge the opportunity to find you guilty or to blame you.
Because you know you did all you could in that moment.
Exactly. There are no grounds for regret. It fosters self-acceptance. You learn by doing, not by beating yourself up.
He even connects it to honoring your body, like a puja.
Yeah, doing your best becomes a way of living fully, respecting and caring for your physical self. Every action, even showering, can become a puja to your body, a sacred act, a communion between you and God when done with presence and your best effort.
That's beautiful.
It reframes everything.
And crucially, the first 3 agreements, they only really stick if you apply this 4th one.
Right. They will only work if you do your best.
Yeah.
You'll mess up, you'll gossip or take something personally or make an assumption.
Happens to everyone.
Of course. But the key is, when you fall, do not judge yourself. Just recognize it and stand up and make the agreement again. Always doing your best includes doing your best to get back on track.
That's standing up again. That feels like the core of this Toltec path to freedom he talks about.
It really is. We think we're free, maybe, but Ruiz challenges that. He says, we are not free to be our true selves.
Why not?
Because we stop ourselves.
Yeah.
With that internal book of law, the big judge, and the victim mentality, we are our own jailers, in a sense.
He uses that image of the little child who never grew up.
Yes, that's the essence of the free human.
Yeah.
That child is wild, playful, lives in the present, isn't afraid to love, totally authentic.
But life happens. Responsibilities.
Yeah, responsibilities pile up, our faces get serious again, and we lose touch with that freedom, that wildness. And
Most people aren't even aware they've lost it.
that's the really striking part. Most of us are not even aware that we are not free. So the very first step toward personal freedom is awareness.
Recognizing the state you're in?
Recognizing that your mind is full of wounds and emotional poison. You have to see the problem before you can even think about fixing it.
And he calls the judge, the victim, the whole belief system, a parasite.
Yes, a parasite that invades the human mind. It feeds on negativity, on negative emotions that come from fear. It literally drains our life force, our joy.
Wow. How do you get rid of a parasite like that? He calls it a monster with 1,000 heads.
Right, implying it's complex. He outlines 3 main ways.
Okay.
1, attack the parasite head by head. Face your fears individually. Slow, maybe, but steady progress.
Makes sense, too.
Stop feeding the parasite.
Control your emotions.
Starve it of that negative energy, which is hard when the judge and victim are running the show.
Very hard. And 3.
The third is the most dramatic. The initiation of the dead.
Initiation of the dead. What does that mean?
It's a symbolic death which kills the parasite without harming our physical body. A radical transformation.
Okay, that sounds intense. But let's maybe focus on the transformation process first. The art of transformation.
Yes, also called the dream of the second attention. It's about using your attention consciously
No.
to deliberately change the agreements you have with yourself, becoming aware of all those self-limiting fear-based beliefs and actively choosing to replace them, reprogramming your own mind.
Like going into the desert to face your demons?
That's a great metaphor he uses, facing your demons face to face and transforming them into angels. It highlights that practicing the 4 new agreements is a big act of power. Every time you choose an agreement over an old pattern, you reclaim energy, you reclaim power.
It requires discipline, though. He talks about the discipline of the warrior.
Right. But it's crucial to understand this isn't about controlling others. It's control over one's own emotions, control over one's own self.
Internal control.
Yes. And a warrior refrains, holds emotions, chooses the right time and way to express them. That's different from a victim who represses emotions out of fear, letting them fester inside.
That's a key distinction, refraining versus repressing.
Huge difference. And central to this whole healing journey is forgiveness.
Forgiving others, forgiving yourself.
Both. But the motivation is key. It's not because they deserve to be forgiven, but because we love ourselves so much, we don't want to keep paying for the injustice.
So forgiveness is for your freedom.
Exactly. True forgiveness means you no longer have an emotional reaction to the memory of the wound. You've released yourself. The poison is gone.
Okay, and then back to that initiation of the dead. How does that fit in?
It's where death itself becomes the teacher. By making us profoundly aware that we can die at any moment. This isn't morbid, it's motivating. It compels us to stop wasting time, to live every day as if it is the last day of our lives.
To be authentic now.
Yes, to express love now, take risks now, be ourselves now.
And this symbolic death, it kills the parasite.
It allows the old dream, the parasite, the whole structure of fear and limitation to die, and that leads to resurrection. Being alive, to be ourselves again. Like returning to that childlike state of authenticity, but this time with wisdom instead of innocence.
Yeah.
You're free to use your own mind, live your own life, finally unburdened.
That's a profound transformation.
Yeah.
So imagine if you could achieve that. He invites us to create a new understanding, a new dream.
Yeah, to literally forget everything you have learned in your whole life, all the domestication, all the limiting beliefs, and just be open to this possibility.
Because ultimately,
the dream you are living is your creation. It is your perception of reality that you can change at any time. You hold the power. You have the power to create hell, and you have the power to create heaven.
it's a choice.
A fundamental choice.
So try to imagine it, a life without that inner conflict. No fear of judgment, no needing to control anyone, no fear of loving fully or taking risks.
Imagine genuinely waking up one day and realizing you love yourself just the way you are. Knowing deep down, you are perfect just as you are.
That sounds like heaven on earth.
That's exactly what he calls it. A state of bliss where you are perceiving love wherever you go. He says only love has the ability to put you in that state of bliss.
And this is the lost paradise.
The one humans have been searching for centuries. But it's not a place, it's an inner state. And he believes this is the future of humanity. Available now, if we choose it.
But it's challenging, right? He acknowledges that.
Oh, definitely. Our identity is mixed with the dream of the planet. We're attached to our stories, even the painful ones. And weirdly, suffering makes you feel safe because you know it so well.
The known misery versus the unknown freedom.
Exactly. It takes courage to step out of that.
But the final really potent point he makes is,
The only reason you suffer is because you choose to suffer. The same is true for happiness. The only reason you are happy is because you choose to be happy.
wow, that puts all the power and all the responsibility right back on you.
Completely. It boils down to the ultimate choice. To suffer or to love and be happy, to live in hell or to live in heaven. Your choice.
So this whole deep dive into the 4 agreements, it really lays out how these, well, simple-sounding agreements can radically shift your reality. From hell to heaven, potentially.
The potential is absolutely there. The mastery of transformation is, as he says, in your hands.
It's not easy, though. It takes that very strong will.
Definitely. And you will fall many times. That's guaranteed.
But the key is,
Do not judge yourself when you fall. Just get back up. Begin again tomorrow. Or even better, focus on just for today. Live the agreements one day at a time.
one day at a time. Always doing your best for that day.
That's the practice.
So maybe the question to leave you with is this. What would it really mean for you to choose to live just one day at a time, always doing your best with these agreements and just seeing what happens? What might the beginning of your own new dream feel like?
Something powerful to consider.